beauty junkie, welcome to my channel. Today we are getting into the Pat McGrath Divine Rose Blush collection. I purchased 3 of the blushes, the highlighter and the eyeshadow quad. We're going to do swatches, I'm going to do a demo, there'll be some comparison swatches, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Now I know this video is quite late compared to everyone else, but I just got my order in the mail June 16th. And I placed my order the day that it launched, May 21st. So we'll also talk about my customer service experience. But yes, you've seen plenty of Pat McGrath blush videos, but I'm finally doing it. Hopefully you'll appreciate my swatches because I'm going to do them indoors in this lighting and then some in almost direct sunlight right in front of the window. So you'll get to see what they look like in the sun and not. This blush collection is going to be around for a while, so hopefully you find this video useful now, or you can refer to it later, maybe if these products ever go on sale. So let's get into it. Packaging first, of course, product descriptions, the shades that I picked up. This is the Divine Blush collection. This is going to be a permanent collection, and these are powder blushes. This is the box packaging. The names are on the end here. And it's all purple with purple roses, gold, all that good stuff. The blush packaging, it is hard plastic, similar to the Mothership palettes. People have complained about this lever. You do have to really push it in, but everything worked for me. You've seen the embossing in the powder. Really pretty, some roses, some like sun streaks. What I like about this embossing is that it doesn't go away. Like I've stuck my finger in here a couple times, stuck my brush in here, and the embossing is still there, which I really like. It's very luxe. Comes with a mirror, of course. It's very, you know, black and gold, standard for Pat. Blush without caution, fabulous flirtations and exquisite seductions may result with prolonged use. The name in really tiny writing is right here of the blush. So the blush color is right there. These last 18 months you get 9.7 grams of product or 0.34 ounces. $38. It's a lot for a blush, but it seems like luxury blushes are getting up there in price. And I know this has been 2021, 2020, both big blush years. Fleurtatious, I believe this is the lightest shade. This is a soft beige pink. I'm just referring to the website. This is a soft beige pink demi matte formula. Fleurtatious, lightest shade there. I also picked up Nymphette, which is a soft pink with golden pearl. This one looks really pretty in person. A little bit dust on there. So you can kind of see that gold in there a little bit. So there's 2 formulas within these blushes. There's the demi matte, and then there's the shades with golden pearl mixed in, so it has a little bit of a gold sheen. The Divine Rose color, also a demi matte. This is a cool mauve rose, and this is kind of the middle shade in the 9 shades. So those are the 3 I picked up. I also picked up the eyeshadow quad. There's only 1 eyeshadow quad with this collection. Gorgeous packaging. There's no like press release, it's just magnetic, so you just pull it apart. This one actually has the names on the back. I've never had a quad before, so I didn't know they did put that info on there. This lasts 18 months, 4.9 grams, 0.17 ounces. Gold and black, classic. There's a mirror. You guys know the quad drill. Very neutral, but of course these 2 are obviously very shimmery, glittery, special. Yeah, so we're gonna swatch that. In case you're curious, here's the packaging for the quad. It looks just like the blush, but it's bigger, and it says Venus and FLEURS LUXE Quad Voyeuristic VIXEN. So that's the name of this particular quad. And yeah, that's the back. No name on the top. You know, I like the black packaging. You'll notice this like has the Mothership symbols. whereas this has Pat McGrath Labs, the blush. I think it's interesting that Pat, a little bit inconsistent with packaging, but that's okay. The quad is $58, and you're thinking, wow, 60 bucks for 4 eyeshadows, pretty much. It's a lot of money per shade. Abso-freaking-lutely. That's probably another reason why I haven't picked up more quads, and honestly, like the glittery shades that are in the other quads, like only glitter, and I know they're not just glitter, they're metallic, they're cool, they're special, so they are worth more money for sure, but you know, it's kind of a big commitment for something you may not wear that often, but I felt like this was a little bit more wearable, so $58 for that. I did pick up the highlighter. It's the Divine Glow highlighter. There's one shade, Golden Nectar. No embossing on this one. Just kind of the flat, regular powder. There's a mirror. Same packaging as the blush. This one is 4.6 grams, 0.16 ounces, lasts 18 months. That is what that looks like. This costs $10 more than the blush for some reason. This is $48, which I find very interesting. I don't know, maybe because there's more shimmery qualities. Costs a little bit more. I don't really know, but this one actually has a design on it, and this one doesn't, but this one costs more. I think it's very interesting. This blush is 9.7 grams, 0.34 ounces. Comparing weights, you get more blush for your money, and for $10 less. The highlighter, less product, no embossing, more money. Strange pricing. The highlighter box says Divine Glow. The blush box says Divine Blush. In case you're curious, otherwise they look the same. Those are the details of the collection. That's what I picked up. I didn't pick up all the lip stuff. I didn't pick every blush shade because, to be honest, some of those shades just wouldn't work for me. They're a little bit. Let's get into blush swatches first. Starting with the lightest, I have Fleurtatious. This is our Demi Matte Formula, and blush swatching is a little bit tricky. I'm just going to use my finger. Around like this, and I will do these indoor lighting, and then after this I'll show the more sunny lighting. So this is indoor lighting, Fleurtatious, and this is what I have on my face right now, and I think it's a really nice tone. I think this is a good color for me. I haven't been able to find good blush colors that really work for my skin tone, to be honest. Like, they're usually like really peachy, and I don't enjoy that for every look. Nymphette, and this is the one with the gold pearl. There is Nymphette, and you can see punchier, brighter pink. You know, in this lighting on my skin, I can't really see the gold pearls that well in the swatch, but there's a slight sheen on my fingertips that you might be able to see. But that is, I cannot remember these names for the life of me. Nymphette. Pretty. Different direction than this one, right? Then we have Divine Rose. This is the Demi Matte Formula again. These feel like smooth. Even though like there's bumps, I can feel the smooth texture when I swatch it. And those are the pretty pinky type of shades. Very safe. Sometimes I like to venture out with blush, but I feel like these colors are gonna go well with my skin tone, and they're just colors that I enjoy. highlighter now. So it's always hard to figure out if a highlighter is gonna work for you. But this is Golden Nectar. And I have it on my face right now. It is very gold. It's gold with a little bit of champagne to it. I think if I had to do this again, I would not pick up this shade because it's darker than I thought it was gonna be. You know, when I bought it, I looked at pictures, photos, everything online. I thought, I don't know why I got this. I thought it was gonna be a little bit lighter. It worked for me a little better, but it is very gold and honestly not really the tone for me. But you know, when it's actually on my face, it's not that bad. I mean, I'm not one of those people that will never use this because it's a little bit darker, but it's probably not the most flattering shade. This is the one I've had forever, and you know, I like the lightest shade. It's just very pink, and I would mix these two, but this is definitely a different formula and very smooth. I mean, I don't think it's horrible. I think a medium to deep skin tone is really gonna appreciate this one though, for sure. We're getting into the quad now. Venus in FLEURS Luxe Quad Voyeuristic Vixen. Let's talk about the names. This is Moonlight Liaison, Rosefire Nectar, After Dusk, Twilight Bronze. Formula, look how bold that is. So it doesn't quite look like this when you apply it with a brush. Like I have this in my inner corner right now. But this is a beautiful shade. I really like it. It's really smooth, but because it has sort of that cream texture to it, it's kind of like a, I don't know how to describe it when you just feel it on your fingertips. There's a little bit of a texture in there. It's not rough or anything, but it's kind of thicker. So that is that, very shiny. This Rosefire Nectar is, I think, the shade most people are excited about because of that. It's got this multi-dimensional shine, this pink, peachy, bronzy, gold, green going on here that, you know, you can only see in certain angles, and it's beautiful. One of those fun party shades at the end of the Mothership palettes, and it's pink. Look at that. Twilight Bronze. This one's got some texture to it. It's metallic. Look at that. Very pretty, kind of bronzy brown. The gold, thick pieces of glitter in there. Then we have our matte shade After Dusk. Ooh, it looks a little bit deep. That looks a little bit better. I had to clean off my finger, so I think that one is still wet. This looks much deeper in the indoor lighting than in the sun, but it's a reddish, maroonish brown. So those are the quad swatches. This is all one shade. Let's think about comparisons to the eyeshadow. What I can tell, I have all the Mothership palettes, I don't have all the 6-pan palettes. Some similar colors to this. This is the Divine Rose 2. This maroon shade looks like it could be close. Nope, it's darker. So this guy right here, is it the same? No. It's funny how lighting can do that. Very warm to cooler. No. Actually, this, I don't know, this looks pretty similar. This is the Divine Rose 1. A lot of similarities here. So let's look at the brown matte shade. This guy. Not as much red. Look at this white shade in the palette to this one. Oh, it's a little bit more yellow gold. What about this brown shade here? Doesn't look, well, maybe. Ooh. It's not the same tone. Okay. Midnight Sun palette. We'll try these two. Let's see. Ooh. So Midnight Sun light shade. Not exactly the same tone, but we have a similar amount of shine and it's pretty close. And then the brown shade here from Midnight Sun. Let's just look at next to this one. Oh no, definitely not. Potentials and Mothership 5. I'm kind of running out of comparison space, but we're gonna try our best. Let's try this one for the Rose Fire Nectar comparison. This is more copper. Oh no. The lighter matte, but that doesn't look quite close to me. It looks like almost maybe a mixture of these two might work to get us closer to the shade. Nope. This one looks like it could be close to maybe this one. Nope. It's a little bit more gray. For funsies, let's try the white shade or gold. Yeah. Nope. Let's look at number 4, Decadence. Not really seeing much in here that will work. This one, the brown one, might be a little bit too deep. Ooh, this feels a little bit hard. That's like black. But let's look at this maroon shade. It's not the right texture. No. Taupey shade. This one? Nope. That was too taupey. This is number 3. Let's just do the pink shade for funsies to see how close it is to Rose Fire Nectar. Oh, that's a close one. You guys probably already knew this, but I did not know that there was a close one. Thought it was really close. Not quite as blinding, a little subdued and a little bit more purple shifty. Not quite the same, but you know, same idea. Yeah, definitely a little bit more Barbie purpley pink. I don't know if Barbie's the right word. But we're getting closer there, so found a potential kind of dupe in number 3. Let's try this light shade for fun. It doesn't look the same, but you know, why not? A little bit more golden bronzy than this one. Just 2 more palettes left in the Mothership series. Let's look at number 2. Oh. Potential here with this pink one. I see a lot of potential matches in here. This one, this shade, this shade. The quad again. I'm gonna start with this light shade. See what we got going. Ooh. Not really showing up. This It's really powdery. Okay, not the same at all. I'm gonna try both of these just for fun to our more bronze shade. Not really a match there. And then the deeper one, let's see how this one is. Okay, it's definitely like a satin, but I mean, it's not too far off. This obviously is a different formula, but the color, there's a lot more gold glitters in here. This doesn't have that metallic look, but it's not far off. Look at a couple mattes in this palette. Do the deep one first and then this one. No. Ooh, that's much closer. That's probably the closest matte we've seen in our Mothership 2 palette. Okay, so a winner here for this one. And then let's look at the one that looks pink. Close looking, right? Ooh. But the quad is brighter and shinier and more like sequins, like really reflective. I mean, so is this. Let's just do a big swatch over here. Yeah, weird. Not as high shine. Let's go back to the quad. This seems to be shinier for sure. So different formula. Oh yeah. Okay. So the major shades in Mothership 2 that are really close matches are this one and this one, which are, you know, two of the quad shades in the palette, so that's pretty good. So if you want a good dupe, I probably would say number 2, Pat McGrath. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know the names, like I don't have them memorized. That's crazy, right? We went a little bit nuts comparing. I do have a couple more I'm going to quickly go through. So Mothership 1, maybe this. No, it doesn't have the glitters. This is really shiny. This does not look the same. Kind of weak. Yeah, no, that's kind of gold. This guy here, this other little Divine Rose little 6-pan palette. This one is more red. Yeah, not really a match. I have Livian Rose, which maybe this is more maroon. Yeah, definitely not. Okay, I think we found our winner. That's all the palettes I have. So if you really want to match the white shade, you could go into Midnight Sun. This light shade's pretty close to the light shade, but it's not as bright. It's like the formulas are redone, but this one not quite the same, but pretty close. And I don't think there's really anything else in here that matches. I didn't really find a super close one for this bronze, but the Mothership 2 Sublime, this one's probably the closest to the quad because it's got two pretty good matching shades. This is the closest dupe I could find for the matte, and this is really close in color to Rosefire Nectar. Let's just hold these side by side. I think you can see the relationship there. Alright, so I know I compared Pat McGrath to Pat McGrath. Compare this palette to some other eyeshadows in my collection, and I'm mostly thinking about multi-chrome and very glittery shadows with some shift. Let's start with a cream product, which I know sounds funny, but there is a good amount of multi-dimensional shine and glitter in here. This is the Danessa Myricks Color Fix Foil Liquid Glitter Lip, Cheek, and Eye Color in Venus. I think this is gonna be close. The shade we're matching to. Let's double up here. Now it is a liquid formula. If you don't like that, this is not gonna be the best dupe for you. It is a little bit grainy, I will admit, but as you can see, the color is pretty similar, and I like to mix this with the same sort of product but in the color Romance. It's not a glitter, but when I put Romance and then this on top, it looks really nice. But that is kind of a nice similar glitter, pink glitter shade that you might want to check out. They have this at Sephora. This is another Danessa Myricks product. This is a multi-chrome pigment twin flames, and I have the shade Bay. I don't think this is going to be that close that it really reminds me of this. Now this is not a match, and this is again a liquid, but you might want to look at what other colors they have in this twin flames formula to see what pink glitter they have, because it's gorgeous and you're gonna get a very similar effect. Now I have powder formulas to compare to, and I think I might have some close ones. These are from Clionadh Cosmetics. They're multi-chrome singles, and these are various different formulas from Clionadh. I got, most of this came from a bundle, but you can get these all individually. And the ones I'm thinking of might be a match. I think this one might be the closest. And this is Vermilion, or maybe some of the colors in this. This is white, this is also white. This is Gloaming, this is Luxe. This may be another one, Opulent, but we're gonna swatch all of these and see what's the closest. So let's start with the Luxe. This is a white shade, so like the top glitter notes might be the same. It's a very powdery formula that really falls apart, and yeah, it looks like there's some pink gold to this, but there's also some green and purple. Not really the same. Never mind. I don't know. I'm just trying things out. Next one is Gloaming, another white shade. Very powdery. I don't love this particular kind of multi-chrome formula because it's very messy, but that's kind of, well, that's more purple. Opulent. This one looks okay. More of a taupey purple. Vermilion. Let's try that. This has some pink and gold in it. Okay, but very purple. A lot more multi-chromey. I wouldn't say this is particularly multi-chromey, but I was looking for a pink glitter that was similar. And this leans very purple, but like in this light I feel like the pink and gold is very close, but it doesn't have those like chunky glitter pieces in it. Thought I could find a good dupe. Let's try one more. We're gonna try Bloodline. Here's Bloodline. Okay. Actually that's closer than I thought it was gonna be, but still no cigar in any of these, really. You know, oftentimes we look at Pat's palettes and we think, oh, that's boring, but this shade, I mean, I have quite a few of these multi-chrome formulas. Now, I don't have every Clionadh eyeshadow. There are some YouTubers, Instagram people out there that have all of the Clionadh shadows, and there probably is one out there that is closer to Rose Fire Nectar. But, you know, I can't find anything really in Pat's collection that's super close, so that I mean, I'm happy to know that I got something different. But there's the dupes from other brands that are Alright, so we're getting into the demo of everything, the blushes, the highlighter, the quad. I'm going to be filming probably over multiple days to do the blushes rather than trying to remove makeup, put it back on. It's kind of a mess for me and my skin. I'm really red right now, by the way. So I'm going to try one of the blushes over like a full face. So I'm going to put foundation, tinted moisturizer, and then I'll do one side with just the no powder, just foundation, and then I'll do one side with foundation and powder, and then put the blush and see what the differences are. And I'll do that for all three colors that I have, and I'll be using the highlighter. And then today for this portion of the demo, I'm going to be trying out the quad, but I'm probably going to do a little bit more of a subtle look because I have somewhere to go. And I'm not ready to debut myself with full glitter this afternoon. So let's get started. So I'm just gonna quickly, and I might speed this part up, demonstrate what I'm putting on my face before I show you the blush, and I'll do it consistently each time. So I'll start with the primer. I don't have the Pat McGrath primer. I'm using the Victoria Beckham by Augustinus Bader Cell Rejuvenating Priming Moisturizer in the original formula. This is a mouthful, okay. The Victoria Beckham one, the white one, and this is like a moisturizer and primer in one. So I don't have the Pat McGrath foundation. I tried it, wasn't a fan. So I'm going to be using the Chantecaille Just Skin Tinted Moisturizer. But this is like, you may think, well, why would you use tinted moisturizer with these blushes? Why don't you use a foundation? Well, this is like a tinted moisturizer slash foundation in my opinion. It has a lot of pigment to it, so I consider this pretty much a foundation. Tinted moisturizer is on. That was Alabaster, if you guys are curious. I have cool toned fair skin. So the concealer I'm using is the Pat McGrath concealer, and I have it in the Skin Finish Sublime. I have it in L6. I like it, but it's not really my color, and I don't know a better color than this one for me. It's really yellow, and I need like a pinky cool toned option, and I think if I got the lightest color that might work, but I'm afraid that's going to be too light. So also I didn't want to I didn't love the foundation, but also like figuring out what color shade I should get was also like a turn off for me, so I just never picked it up. I'm going to use the light Pat McGrath under eye powder. I'm going to do one side with powder, a setting powder, and the other without. I'm going to use the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. Alright, so I will be using those complexion products each time I do a blush, and here's my brow product. I'm using the Kosas Air Brow in Taupe. Alright, could my complexion be more perfected? Yes, but we're going to move on to the blush. I'm very excited. Today I'm going to do more of a natural look for my eyes and cheeks. So I'm going to start with to me the lightest blush of the whole collection, and that is Fleurtatious. And I have already shown you swatches what this looks like in this lighting and outdoor lighting, but here's another shot. It's the light pinkish one, but it's kind of a brownish dusty pink. I don't know how to describe this color, to be honest. It's a little bit strange. I think it looks really light and white, but I'm hoping it doesn't look that way on the cheeks. So I'm going to be using the Wayne Goss number 10 brush, and I'm just going to do a couple taps. So this is the powdered side. A lot of people are taking their blush way up here. That's a pretty bold color, I think, for how light this looks. It looks pretty pale on the pan, and this is the side that does not have powder. And this looks even bolder than the powder side, which is interesting. Wow, a little bit goes a long way. I know it looks like I put a lot on the brush, but yeah, these are definitely pigmented, bold. Color payoff on the cheeks, like these are gonna last forever. And even though this shade looked a little bit light and powdery, I'm actually getting some pretty deep cheeks, so I'm wondering how the other colors are gonna look. I mean, you may not think that you would get that much color from this one, but you do. Put on the highlighter. This highlighter is too deep for me, and it looks very innocent, like it could work in the pan, but the swatches are definitely a little more bronzy than what I use on my face, which makes me a little bit sad, to be honest. But honestly, I haven't picked up a powder highlighter from Pat since her trio, so this is the only highlighters I've had for a long time. So I wanted to pick up a new one. I didn't know that this was going to be this deep though, but we're gonna do it. Oh wow, a little bit powdery, dusty formula. I mean, it definitely looks like a light gold. So that is it for my complexion. I think it looks better on the powdered side. I don't know, maybe I just have more redness. I'm gonna go ahead and put setting powder on top of this side because I'm going to need it today. I'm gonna use, of course, the matte shade. I wish it was a little bit lighter. This is pretty deep, but we're gonna make it work. Just a little bit goes a long way. Pop this into the crease, create some shape. I'm using the rougher number 16. I am gonna use the same matte shade underneath my eye. Alright, so I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment and use this lightest shade here, just on the inner part, just to see, and I might sweep it across my lid completely. Use a little bit of this one today with my finger, just to get a little bit more color on my lid. So you can see the glitter flecks in that one. Alright, so with that last shade, things got real smoky real fast. It is pretty. I mean, there's a lot of sparkle in that shade, so probably not super daytime, but the tones of it are. I mean, this is a little bit smoky, but in person, I know it looks a little deep with the shadows on camera, but in person, for me, this is not like a necessarily nighttime only kind of look or casual. Inappropriately for casual. I think it's a good casual, slightly glam type of deal. If you want less glam, you can do no eyeliner, just the mascara. Pat's pencil liner Extreme Black. And then I'm going to use the Fetish Eyes mascara. So I put on my eyeliner and my mascara. I'm liking the look, but the fallout with that one eyeshadow is a little bit nuts. I'm using the Scotch tape method, which is not a professional way to remove glitter from your face. Okay, so fallout isn't really like a new thing with Pat. Her other formula, you know, her other palettes, her quads, her large mothership palettes, a lot of the glitter shades have fallout. You guys know that. I probably should have done my eye makeup first. But I don't normally like to do that. I'm not a fan of that. It's kind of weird for me to go in a different order, but cleanup was pretty hard with the fallout in this one, but I really like the look otherwise. So let's do lips, and then that will be the first look. So I'm going to be using the Suburbia Pat McGrath Ultra Lip Pencil. Probably a little bit deep for the gloss that I'm going to use. So I'm using the Faux Real Luxe Gloss. This is not a new color. This is not from the recent collection. I didn't pick any lip products up. A little bit of an ombre lip. Alright, so that is the first lip demonstration. a new day. I'm trying out the Nymphette blush. This is one of the blushes that has the golden sheen in it. And I'm imagining this is going to be a bit brighter than Fleurtatious. So same makeup as yesterday. I have powder on this side, no powder on this side, and with the same Rain Gloss number 10 brush, we're going to go in. Ooh, yeah, that's pink. I think this is plenty bright pink for me. I think I might have put a little bit too much on my brush. So I'm gonna back away, blend it out with my reference number 25. I don't know what it is. I think the powder side attaches more smoothly than the non-powdered side. I wonder why that is. It just, I don't know if it's my skin on the side is just different, but I think you can see it just looks not as smooth. I'm digging the color. Let's look up close and see if I can see that golden sheen. Yeah, I'm seeing it's slightly on that side. So in the indoor lighting, like in indirect lighting, the sheen is not so much that you feel like I feel like it's accentuating any bad skin or wrinkles. I think it's a nice amount of pearl. Could it be a little bit more? Like if you're looking for a shimmery blush, I don't know that you would be happy with the amount of shimmer. It's very light. It's pretty though. I like how it looks. I'm gonna go into the highlighter. You know, I looked at this in different lighting yesterday and definitely not my color. It looks okay in this lighting, but like outside bathroom lighting, it was not as pretty. So the formula of this blush seems to be pretty workable so far. But I will say, like, if you really overdo it with this one, you're gonna look a little bit flushed. Whereas Nymphette is just a totally different vibe. Let's go on to another eye look, and this time we are gonna try this exciting pink shade here. This time I'm gonna use some glitter primer from NYX to see if that helps with the fallout. Try to use probably the matte, the white shimmer, and the pink today, so let's get into it. Again, same shade under the eyes. All right, and then shimmer shade again. I don't think Pat has a primer. I'm pretty sure she doesn't for the eyes. So I'm just using a little bit of this NYX one. And I'm just gonna tap this on. I'm just gonna do one eye at a time. So I'm gonna use my finger in here. I think I'm gonna need some more Q-tips just to clean up here, because it's a lot of shadow. A little bit better, not my perfect ideal makeup. I'm gonna try to put a little bit of shimmer up here just because, I don't know. This is a lot. Sorry guys, this is a messy makeup look and I'm not feeling it today, but I think you get the idea of what I'm trying to do. So with this pink glitter, I think this blush shade works. With it, it's a little bit much on the side. Looks much better on this side. So I really want to do a brown eyeliner or a maroon, but I don't have one from Pat. So I'm going to go and use my Victoria Beckham eyeliner, the Satin Kajal eyeliner in Bordeaux. This is such a good eyeliner and it's super bold. And I think it goes well with the color story here. Alright, I am loving this with the eyeliner now. I'm going to put a little bit of mascara, but before that I am going to set my face because I'm concerned about glitter. Little Recipe Watermelon Mist. Forgot about the Maybelline Lasting Fix. This is more like for longevity, so I'm gonna put this on my eyes and hopefully they don't sting. See how shiny my forehead is now? That is a setting spray. Put on some of my Pat mascara. Fetish eyes. Alright, put on my mascara, I put on my lip liner and lipstick. I used Suburbia again, and this time I used the Pat McGrath Matte Trance formula in Beautiful Stranger. This color right here. My lips are not digging the matte feeling right now. My lips are a little bit dry, so I have some lip gloss options that I just might put in the middle. I have the Divine Rose Luxe Gloss, and I also have a glittery formula, the Bronze Venus color, which I think would really go with this. But if you don't want, you could do both. You could not do the lipstick and just do this. Let's just try a little bit of this Bronze Venus. Ooh. So it kind of made my lipstick a little bit more pink. But this is very like special occasion, date night, very romantic, a little bit fall. This palette, I think, I mean any neutral, like you could do very toasty looks. This is a little bit toasty. I think if the matte shade was a little bit lighter, it would be less toasty looking. Reminds me of I know we did comparisons, but this reminds me of the Bronze Seduction, like very bronzy, very brown palette. But I'm loving the pink. But this is look number 2. Alright, I'm doing a little bit of a check-in on look 2. I filmed about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and now it's midnight, so I got some wear on this look. And as you saw, I used a couple setting sprays. I was really careful about my application this time. I used eyeshadow primer, and things look pretty good. I think I got less fallout for sure this look versus the first look, and it's because I applied things really carefully. I took a little bit more time with the application. I was not as in a rush, and I think it made a big difference. I did get a little bit of mascara flaking, but not a lot of obvious glitter, which I'm super happy about, and makes me love this palette even more. I love this pink eyeshadow. It's amazing. It's so pretty for a powder high shine eyeshadow. It's incredible. And I was doing some work at my computer during this while I was wearing it, but I also cooked, I ate, like I wasn't really touching my face a whole lot, at least from what I can remember. But if I was just chilling and sitting there, I might be more inclined to touch my face. But when I'm really distracted and really busy, like I was this evening, I didn't touch my face, so that definitely helps. My complexion is definitely oily and shiny, but I use a tinted moisturizer, the Chantecaille, and even though I like the way it looks, it doesn't, you know, completely mattify my face all day, although no foundation does. So I have a lot of shine, but it is also pretty warm here today, so tonight, this evening. It's like 80 something degrees at night right now, so I think I really like this eyeshadow palette. I just wanted to do a little bit of check-in so you guys could see how the shadow wears. Now, this is not like a 12-hour wear test, but it's several hours and things look great, so just wanted to mention that. Alright, last blush, the Divine Rose color. This is the Demi Matte formula. I think this is the deepest shade I bought. And so this is going to be our last look. Same complexion as before, powder side, non-powdered side. So let's try this one out. I think this is described as like a dusty mauve or cool tone mauve or something like that. I would agree with that. It's not quite as bright pink. I mean, it definitely has color, but it's not as bright pink as yesterday, at least not in person. I'm not sure if it comes across as different on camera. The no powder side looks better with this one. The powder side always looks the best, so I probably will always use powder. Do the highlighter again. See what this one looks like. That's it for the Divine Rose blush. I don't have to do a third eye look. I think 3 eye looks is a little bit overkill for this palette because there's only 4 shades. But I do want to give this shade another shot using a eyeshadow primer, just because I experienced a lot of fallout my first look. I'm going to use this white shimmer shade first all over my lid, and then I'm just going to use this shade, so these 2 shades today. Gonna be a little bit sparkly, but that's okay. I really like this white shade. Okay, so now for the primer again, and put it on the back of my hand and use my finger to just go in the middle. Alright, now with my finger going in here, and I'm going to do that press and release motion. Alright, so I did a little bit of cleanup with a Q-tip. Q-tips are your friend when it comes to glitter fallout, and I just put a little bit of water on it and just kind of roll out the glitter. And I actually use the Q-tip to clean up the top edge of where I placed that with my finger. I don't think that I will put anything under my eyes. I think I'm just going to use an eyeliner, and I don't have a brown eyeliner from Pat. And I don't want to use black because I don't want this too deeply. This is the Wayne Goss Eye Coil. In what color is this? Precious Opal. There's like little micro gold glitters. You can't really see. It's a deep brown. Let's do a little bit of this, and then I'll do a little on the lower lash line. Alright, we're back. I did my lips. I'm gonna do my setting spray. I almost forgot. This really helped with longevity on my eyes last time. So this is the Maybelline Lasting Fix again. That's a thick one. Those droplets are thick. This was like a little mini one I got with Ulta, a bunch of samples. Lips, I did Suburbia, the Pat McGrath Suburbia lip liner. I did the Divine Rose Lust Gloss from Pat. We did Divine Rose blush, the gloss. I do think they go well together, and the lip liner. like boom, boom, boom. This is a nice combo. The more I work with this palette, once everything's all said and done and the look is finished, I like this quad a lot. I like the combination of the white shade and this bronzy shade. I think the like contrast between like the silver and the kind of gold makes it a little bit grungy looking for some reason. So I'm enjoying that. But this is look number 3. Alright, what are my final thoughts after doing 3 looks with all the blushes, the highlighter, the quad? What do I think? I think the blushes, like everyone else, I mean, they're beautiful. They are pigmented, they're pretty smooth, but I do have a couple tips and recommendations based on the colors that I chose and how it applies. So as you probably noticed, the side without powder, setting powder on top of the foundation, or my tinted moisturizer, it looks good, it's pigmented, but not as smooth looking as the powder side. I don't know if it's maybe this side of my face is bumpier, I don't know. But I found that it just sticks better to a powdered skin. Now if you never use powder and you're comfortable using powdered blush and you figure out a way to make it smooth for other powders, maybe you can do the same thing for this one and it will be fine. I do feel like you get more longevity. I know for a lot of people blush just kind of disappears sometimes, and it just, your skin just sucks it up. So I think if you put something, the more you put in between you and your skin, the more likely it may stick around. Also use a setting powder, and just be mindful of the weather. If you're in boiling hot weather, probably nothing on your face is gonna last. But I think these blushes, I mean, are pretty good with longevity. I haven't tried out a full 12-hour day, but I did like 5 or 6 hours. And when I did that check-in, and things looked pretty good. But, you know, obviously don't touch your face. Don't do this. Don't, you know, be smart about it. But yeah, I do recommend a powder. I use the Laura Mercier one, but I imagine it's going to be fine with any setting powder. Colors that I picked up, I do like Fleurtatious. This one surprised me a little bit. This is the lightest shade, but I just thought it was probably the most flattering, like easygoing color for me, like my fair skin tone. Like this is a little bit bolder and richer of a color. This is a little bit more casual, so I like Fleurtatious. I'm glad I picked this one up. I was a little bit nervous what color it was going to be, but I'm glad I picked up that one. Nymphette, this is the one with golden pearl. I mean, I like the pearl. I didn't have any issues with it, but I think these shades were really similar. Of course, this one looks like it should be deeper, but honestly, I didn't find it to be that much deeper. Maybe a little less product I had to apply with this one. Instead, I had to apply a little bit more to make this more bold, but this wasn't like enough sheen for me to notice this had a gold sheen in indoor lighting. I could see it a little bit better in the sun that it had a sheen to it, but in this lighting it wasn't as obvious. So if you're looking for something super sheeny, you may not be like super excited about this one. So I don't know. What I'm trying to say is you probably don't need both of these colors because they're close enough. If you don't really want peachy tones at all, I probably would stay away from Nymphette. Divine Rose, if you want something pink and you don't want the lightest shade, which is what I got, which is Fleurtatious, and you like maybe a little more neutral cool tone leading color. I wouldn't say it's super cool toned, but this would be the better option if you want absolutely no peach. I mean, I enjoy all of them. I'll find a use for them, but I just thought these were pretty close enough that you probably don't need to get both, but the formula is good. If you are a person that is super heavy-handed, like you are probably just gonna want to start out really slow, light layers, build it up, and just work with the formula to see how well it blends. The highlighter, I think I regret picking this up. I thought it was lighter. I think like a lot of people, It's hard to tell from pictures what this is going to be like. It looks like in the pan, I mean, if I saw this in person, I probably wouldn't have picked it up. In pictures online, it seemed like it'd be like a lighter champagne, but it's definitely deeper. I think in this lighting, it looks fine, but when I was in the sun, I could really see it was pretty gold, which not the most flattering shade for my skin, but it is pretty. If you have deeper skin tones, you like gold, this is really nice. It's smooth. I'm a little bit disappointed by the cost. It's $10 more than the blush and less product, and there's no design in the powder. So you're getting less product, no design. It doesn't quite make sense. Just because this is shimmery, it costs more money. I mean, I suppose. Interesting pricing. So I don't think you need to pick that one up. It's not like the best highlighter in the world. The quad. If you want a quad from Pat, you don't want a huge palette, you want something travel friendly, but you want a little pizzazz and sparkle in the neutral zone, I think you're gonna like this. But you do need a glitter primer for these shades if you want to avoid extreme fallout, and some setting sprays. If you don't want like that complication and you want something easy, I wouldn't say this quad is easier for a beginner by any means, because I wouldn't apply these with a brush, and if you're not comfortable applying eyeshadow with a finger, you might struggle with this and that might frustrate you, and I don't want that to happen. Now if it was all of like shade, if the quad had like just mattes and these shimmers, I think it would be fine, anybody can use it, but these two are a little bit more complicated, but they are like really standout pretty shades. But I like the color story. You can see I did 3 looks. This is, if you're my skin tone, you have to be careful about using a lot of this because it's pretty deep and things can get real smoky real fast. So I would say overall it's probably a party nighttime palette, but I think every quad she has is just full of sparkle, so it's always going to be a party palette. So yeah, and I showed you earlier the comparisons to Pat's other eyeshadows, not all of them, but most of them. And I showed you a few from other brands. I didn't buy any lip stuff. Overall, I think the collection is good. I think overall, like everyone else, people are pretty happy with the blushes. And I am too, for sure. I wonder if they will go on sale eventually, and if they do, I think you should definitely try one. If $38 is too much for you, I mean, you don't have to get this blush. Like, it's not like the best blush I've ever seen. I think what's more important is the different shades she came out with. I think that's really cool. Like, not every blush collection out there has shades like this. Also, I think, you know, the powder, like, this looks pretty smooth, but I mean, there's other blushes out there that are smooth as well. But I think the main thing is if you find an interesting color in this collection that you think is a little bit unique and different and will work for you, then buy one. And hopefully there's a sale on them one day. Those are like my overall thoughts. I am a Pat McGrath fan though. Like, I do have all of her motherships. Since I started this channel, I bought every one. Do I use them on a regular basis? No, because when I think of Pat, I think like special occasion. So like I will use a Pat palette for a wedding or like an outing, special outing where I want to look especially nice and use like a special eyeshadow color or something really sparkly. I will pull out a Pat palette. But for my everyday makeup, I'm reaching for other things. I mean, you know, when you do YouTube, you're always trying out new stuff, and sometimes you're just reaching for the newest, latest thing, and not necessarily going back to your other things in your collection. And I think, you know, Christmas was the last time she really came out with a new eyeshadow palette, so it's been a little bit. I didn't get the large eyeshadow palette that she came out with. Like, I don't have everything, Pat. Like, I'm not that person. I would never get any. I don't think I'd ever be the person to buy every product from a brand, because that's just a lot. But I usually go for things that appeal to me. So that's why this is my first quad. It really appealed to me. I know a lot of you are like, that quad looks boring. Yes, it's boring, but I think when you see these looks, like, that pink shade is not boring. At least not to me, but you gotta like, I forgot to mention my customer service experience and why this video is so late. Oh my gosh, so I wanted to leave this for the end because it's not such a happy story. I'm just kind of really annoyed, and I know that I am not the only one that's had bad Pat McGrath experiences with shipping, or just getting wrong products, or not getting anything at all. So I ordered when everyone else did on launch day, and I was excited. I even like couldn't get one of the bundles to work, but I got a refund through the chat, like the difference of what I would have paid if I got the bundle. There's some issues, like when you first were able to buy the collection, but some of the bundles you couldn't click add to cart. So anyways, I fixed it. I got the difference in money refunded that I would have saved. So that was great. Awesome, right? So that was taken care of. But I kept waiting for my shipping confirmation, and it just never came. So I think Pat released on a Friday, and then I contacted customer service maybe a week later, or the following Thursday. I was like, when is my order gonna ship? And they said, oh, it's processing. Very generic answer, big launches take more time to process. They never gave any specific dates or specific extended processing times. I was like, okay. So then I waited another week later. So now 2 weeks since I ordered. And I said, where's my order? It hasn't shipped. It's been over 10 business days. How long do big launches take to process? Because it's been a long time. No specific answers. Same generic answer I got before. Oh, your order's being processed. It's ready to ship. I'm like, okay, cool. Nobody looked into anything. So then after the second time I contacted them, I got an email, I think the following day, that said, how was your customer service experience? And I rated it 1 star because I got no answers. And what I want people to do is to actually look into my specific order rather than giving me a generic answer. Maybe there's actually something wrong with my order. I don't know. I don't know what's happening, but it's frustrating because as a YouTuber, I'm just starting. I know I'm going to get stuff late because I don't have PR, but this is like extremely late now. It's like 2 weeks later. And all these videos are already out. So once I rated them 1 star, they emailed me back and said, so sorry for your order. If you don't get it next week, let me reply to this email and let me know. So the 3rd week, I waited a couple days, emailed them back saying, I'm responding back to you as you requested because I still haven't got my order. Then they responded, said, okay, do you want a refund or do you want us to reship? I was like, I want you to reship. So they sent me some new shipping information. It was $0, which is great, but it wasn't like express shipping or anything. So luckily, happily, I got the shipping confirmation the following day. But it still wasn't rush shipping or anything like that. It still took a while to get here, so I got the package June 16th and I ordered May 21st. So I think what really made me the most angry is not that it took that long, but so So basically what happened is my first order never shipped. I never got a confirmation. Nothing happened with her. It just sat there. Like, my order just sat there. And it was because I contacted customer service 3 times that I got a new order shipped out. And that's how I got my stuff. So that's super frustrating. And it's super frustrating that I had to contact them twice, and not until I gave them a bad rating did they say, oh, I'll do something about it next week if you still don't have it. It just makes me wonder, like, it depends who I talk to who's gonna do something. Like, how long do I have to wait before it's too long? Something needs to be improved. You guys know that. You've heard the stories of people things not shipping very quickly, but people getting the wrong things, damaged things. I haven't had this big of an issue with Pat before. I've had, you know, the shipping delays, but this was the longest. I've never had anything damaged from Pat, but, you know, that could change. You know, I think a lot of us would gladly pay the option for express shipping so we can get our videos out, or, you know, just better packaging and bubble wrap. Like, this time it was bubble wrapped really well, so nothing was broken. Everything came perfect, which is great. I'm just, you know, the delay is a big deal to me, and I think anybody that's excited and buys something on launch day, like, we want our stuff. And when it seems like we're treated unfairly or differently, or, you know, something is clearly wrong when all these people have their stuff already and I'm not getting it 3 weeks later, and I ordered the same day they did, likely. How does that work? What happened? What happened in your system that made that not ship out? That's what I want to know. Anyways, end of rant. That's my customer service story. I wish things are better. I mean, this is a luxury brand that's been around for a few years now. I'm sure they're making lots of money and doing very well. I have no idea, but they keep putting out stuff, so I'm assuming they're doing okay. People still seem interested in this brand. I don't know exactly, like, everything that's going on with this brand. Like, is Pat McGrath really designing the makeup anymore? I don't know. I've heard that her staff is doing it now. I can imagine she's a busy lady, but, you know. I still think that makeup is pretty good still, so that's what you want at the end of the day. Alright guys, those are my thoughts. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you picked up from this collection. What are you loving? What are you not loving? Click like if you like this video. Comment below. Subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.